Hey, welcome back to Shedding Light. We are talking about Ghosts, the Silent Partner. And this is one of those episodes that you should not miss because it gets into the ghost being the silent partner and a whole lot of other shenanigans that are unforgettable. We are talking about season 3 of Ghosts. I'm Joe Dove, the co host of the Captain's Quadrant, host of and founder of To Be Seen. And we are just excited, elated to get into Ghosts season 3 Episode 5, Silent Partner. So this picks up right from last episode, from the Halloween episode, where Carol is now a ghost and she is kind of becoming acclimated in the world of ghosts and now a forever member of the household. Now, she is infamous for cheating on Pete when they were alive with Pete's best friend. And as you will come to find out, there is a lot more to that. And of course, she has a purse with her and she has candy. So one of the best lines that they do in this one is Sapsy says, what do we think Carol has in that big purse of hers? And then Hetty, of course, is like, if there's a god, it's cocaine. And then Saps is like, do people keep pizzas in their purses? And of course, Hetty's like, we'll find out when we look for the cocaine. So, if you don't know, back in the olden days, they used cocaine as a headache treatment and a way to deal with life at that time. So, it wasn't cocaine. She did have butterscotch. So everybody basically tried to go, all right, well, how can we eat it? And they tried to. She handed her the candy, and the candy zapped back into her purse. So obviously, that's not going to work. There's some hilariousness with Pete and Carol. You just kind of get the sensation that Pete does kind of want to have some type of relationship with Carol, but he's so vexed at what happened in the past that they kind of swipe at it or not. And of course, there's more hilariousness when Pete is trying to say, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna act like I'm with somebody and I am not gonna fall for Carol's tricks. And of course, he leans on Alberta, and Alberta's like, hell no. And she comes through at the end, and Tris kind of goes with it and says that they're together now. But of course, our beloved character from the Basement Ghost, just a basement ghost, comes up, of course, and Nancy just gets right into the fray and kind of messes it up. And Pete has to play this back and forth, saying, "No, I'm with Alberta, and Nancy's my side piece," and it's just great. But of course, it all comes to fruit out at the end. But I think Alberta is getting feelings for Pete, so there's going to be a lot on this. Of course, one of the Sam's investors backs out of the restaurant, so Sam and Jay are plotting to get investments from Isaac, and Isaac is basically like, "No, I want to spend the money for the wedding." And of course, Sam is like, "You know what? I make ghost these cakes for ghosts that can only smell them, and I can't see them. And they're not going to help me with the money, the financial for the restaurant." And just as Isaac is about to come in and give him the okay and be the silent partner, they find out that there was no money because, of course, Trevor took the money and invested it. And it goes through the seesaw, hilarious, of the investments paying out and giving them much more than the $10,000 they invested and then dropping so quickly. So they managed to sell it at $200,000 and they have the money for the restaurant. But of course, Trevor and Isaac are then say, "Well, you guys were just going to rob me because I'm a ghost, so maybe I don't fund the restaurant." And they smooth it out, of course. But it's really funny that they wanted to actually give Isaac his idea for the restaurant, and of course, it would be a mincemeat restaurant. Of course, they can't serve horse pies anymore, but everything kind of sticks with that era that he was in. And he was like, "Yeah, you got to put sawdust on the floor. It captures all the pee." Of course, they're not going to put sawdust on the floor, but there's just lines that are hilarious. And this is by far one of the best comedies that's out on streaming and on CBS right now. If you haven't watched Ghost, I highly encourage you to check this show out. It is hilarious. The great ensemble cast just knocks it out of the park every episode. So much going on. There's a lot of subplots and A, B, and C stories that just keep you enthralled. Now that we know who Alberta's murderer is, it was Hetty's son. Some of these wondrous mysteries have been solved, but I'm sure there's more, including the Flower mystery, because we know Flower is in the well, and how are they gonna get her? How are they gonna find Flower in the well? That's the big mystery of this season. How are they gonna get Flower? And the other big mystery of who was actually sucked off. Because somebody was sucked off in the very end of last season, the beginning of this season in the recap, and they were all trying to figure out who it was, but we still don't know who it actually was. And we know it's not Flower now because she's in the well. So who was it? Let me know in the comments below some of your theories of who you think the ghost that got sucked off is. Um, there there's a few theories that I have. I don't think it was just a basement ghost. I think that there may have been another ghost that nobody really knew, and it just got sucked off and people just didn't know about it. And I find it wild that we haven't seen Crash since. So, I mean, obviously he wasn't the one that got sucked off because he walked in and talked about the Sleeping Beauty upstairs. So, it is a mystery as to who the sucked off ghost is. Again think either it was somebody that we hadn't met and we're going to get a quick flashback of this ghost that was there and they were like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that person." And then the show will continue on. And I think that would be a funny way to end it because it's just a great show and I think you ought to be in the know and you should subscribe because we are going to get into the next episode, and that episode is, and we're gonna get into Hello Brother, and that one was also amazing. That one has a lot of stuff that I'm sure as a millennial you will get into or Gen X because it's brothers, man, and brothers just bring that sweet, sweet connection together because it is reminiscent of how we grew up, and they really nail it. I'm sure whoever's writing, well, let's see, I can tell you exactly who's writing. Um, Joe Port, Joe Weissman, I'm Joe. That's amazing. And Guy Endor Kaiser. So hopefully they are of our age, and that's why they get such amazing inspiration for some of these pieces. And I'm also wondering what happened to their neighbor, the Farnsworths, I believe they were, and they were trying to set up some type of menage. But I remember the actor is from, um, Perfect Strangers, so it would be really cool if they make another appearance because I would love to see, um I would love to see Cousin Larry, played by Mark Lynn-Baker, come back and just get right into some more of those shenanigans because there's a lot going on, and then we could see the ghost of Thorfinn's son again. But who knows? It's going to be a lot to get into. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to hop into the rest of the season. Thursday's the day. We got so much great show, great TV to get into. And the amazing show Ghosts, of course, is just going to continue to be hilarious and thought provoking. Is there anyone else that you can think of that could have been sucked off? Again, let me know in the comments below. I am very curious to see who you believe got sucked off in this episode. I think I've probably said suck off more than I should have, but I hopefully can still get a non 18 plus rating on this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Joe Dove. Be sure to check me out every Friday on the Captain's Quadrant. We are diving into Star Trek Discovery with Jason and Jason, myself. We are not a law firm. We are the Captain's Quadrant talking about Star Trek. We have the amazing The Console Room coming back with the new season of Doctor Who next month. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. And we will be at Trek Long Island. So be sure to get those tickets. So come check out some of the other great shows on the To Be Seen channel, horror, music, movies and reviews. So much fun.